Every day, millions of people around the world wake up facing the same daunting question: how can I afford a place to live? The global housing crisis is not just a distant problem, it's a reality affecting families, individuals, and entire communities. We see images of families crammed into single rooms, hear stories of people working multiple jobs just to make rent, and watch as the dream of home ownership slips further and further out of reach for so many. But what's causing this crisis? Why is it so difficult to find affordable housing in so many places? Today, we're going to unpack this complex issue and explore the key reasons behind the global housing crisis. First up, let's talk about supply and demand because, and I hate to break it to you, Economics 101 rears its ugly head yet again. In many cities, the number of new homes being built hasn't kept up with the growing population. This imbalance between supply and demand drives prices up, making it harder for people to find affordable homes. When you have more people wanting something than what's available, the price goes up. But here's the thing, it's not just about building more homes. We need more affordable housing options, not just luxury condos that sit empty for most of the year. Now you might be thinking, okay, so build more homes, problem solved. But hold on a second, because this is where it gets even more complicated. Construction costs have skyrocketed in recent years. The price of materials, labor, and land has increased significantly, making it more expensive to build new homes. Finding skilled construction workers is like trying to find a sober person at a college fraternity party. It's possible, but it's going to be a challenge. This perfect storm of rising costs means that even if we could magically build enough homes to meet demand, they'd likely be too expensive for many people to afford. Let's talk about wages for a moment, shall we? Because while housing costs have soared into the stratosphere, wages have decided to take a leisurely stroll in the opposite direction. Many people find themselves spending a larger portion of their income on rent or mortgage payments, leaving less for other essentials like, food, healthcare, and that one streaming service you only keep because it has that one show you kind of like. When you're spending the majority of your income just to keep a roof over your head, it doesn't leave much room for anything else. Chapter 4: Houses aren't hotels. The problem with investment and speculation. Now let's talk about a little something called investment. Investing in real estate to flip it for a profit while families struggle to find affordable housing. Well, that's where we cross the line from savvy investor to Lord Voldemort of the housing market. In some markets, housing has become a commodity for investment, like a gold bar you can occasionally sleep in. Properties are bought and held not for living but for profit, which is about as morally satisfying as eating a bowl of nails for breakfast. This speculation reduces the availability of homes for those who need them most, driving up prices and creating ghost towns of empty apartments. Chapter 5: City Life. The allure and agony of urbanization. Rapid urbanization has played a major role in the housing crisis. As more people move to cities for better opportunities, the demand for housing in urban areas outstrips the available supply, pushing prices higher. It's a classic case of too many people, not enough homes. And it's not just young professionals. Without adequate housing options, many end up in overcrowded slums or informal settlements, further exacerbating the crisis. Now, you might think that governments would be all over this housing crisis thing, right? Well, you'd be both right and wrong. Governments can implement policies that encourage affordable housing development, such as tax breaks for developers, subsidies for low-income renters, and streamlined building approval processes. On the other hand, government policies can also create roadblocks to affordable housing. Zoning laws, building codes, and lengthy approval processes can limit the construction of new homes, particularly in areas where land is scarce and demand is high. Let's be honest, folks, the housing crisis isn't happening in a vacuum. It's inextricably linked to the widening gap between the haves and the have-nots, a gap so wide you could fit a yacht in there. The housing crisis is a stark reflection of broader economic inequalities. Those with higher incomes have better access to housing, while lower-income families struggle with limited options and rising costs. It's a vicious cycle. The rich get richer, and everyone else is left fighting over the scraps of the housing market. Discrimination based on race, ethnicity, gender identity, and other factors also plays a role in who gets access to safe and affordable housing. And just when you thought the housing market couldn't get any weirder, along comes a global pandemic to really shake things up. The COVID-19 pandemic, like a rogue wave crashing into an already shaky housing market, disrupted everything. Global events like pandemics, wars, and natural disasters can have a ripple effect on housing markets, often exacerbating existing inequalities and creating new challenges. So there you have it, a whirlwind tour of the global housing crisis. By addressing these key issues, by demanding better policies, by challenging discriminatory practices, and by working together to create a more equitable society, we can work towards a future where everyone has a place to call home. Thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe for more insights on global issues.